Hey guys, what's going on? Rick, and I got some churn with me. Maddie, Patrick. Patrick's already about to fall asleep, seeing as though I just got done with breakfast. Heading over to my house, grab the dogs, then we'll meet LaLa and Papa at the farm. So. What's going on, guys? Beautiful morning, LaLa Farm. You got everybody in the background. So this morning we're doing some goat checks where, you know, we're just kind of out here working and kind of showing you just as the day goes on what we're doing. But we got Patrick out here, and we got baby Dixie again, Booty Bob, and Monster's over there taking a manly time in the bushes. Another video that should be coming out here pretty soon is the dog run that we installed for Bruno, and we got some footage, and it's kind of a two-part system where you actually have the run when no one is out here, where you have your run, and that goes from that tree over there all the way to one of the 6x6s, and he gets attached to this. He gets attached to this, and pretty heavy duty chain, but he can run back and forth, and it slows him down quite a bit. All right. Second part of this is, and I'll tell you why we went why we ended up wanting to go this route and put Bruno on the runner. But the second part is, it's called a knee knocker, right, Dad? Yep. So what we do is, when he's off of his chain, or whenever he's off of the run, we go ahead and we put the knee knocker on him. And what that's supposed to do, he's running with it right now, but it does slow him down. But what that's supposed to do is, as he's running, it's supposed to hit him in the knees, it's supposed to slow him down, it's supposed to deter him from chasing goats, which is the main reason why we ended up doing the run and the knee knocker. All right, we're having some issues where he was actually picking on 9 right there, which is the tricolor. But we were having an issue where he was picking on 9 and running after 9. He was also doing it with Chewy, wasn't he? Yeah. So he was also doing it with Chewy, where he was sitting there and he would go ahead and he would run up to Chewy and he'd attack Chewy, or he'd go ahead and he'd try to exert his dominance. Well, that's not what a livestock guardian dog's out here to do. Livestock guardian dog it's a companion, and it's also a sense of security for these goats. Anything that's more or less not supposed to be in the paddock or in the pasture doesn't get in here because of those livestock guardian dogs. He's not supposed to go after the goats. Another issue we were having was the chickens. More or less the same thing. He has yet to kill a chicken. But what he does do is he goes ahead and he pushes the chicken down to the ground and then just kind of softly chews on them like a stuffed animal.
Plucks their feathers.
Yeah, and plucks their feathers. And now you have a chicken that's more like a duck. And so I'm gonna try to get a little bit of footage of the knee knocker. That's what's hanging from him. It's a choke collar, right? It's just a choke chain. It's just a choke chain that that's attached to his collar. And like I said, because it's so heavy and it knocks up against his knee, it deters him from running around, or it slows him down is what it's looking like it's doing. But as of right now, I mean, it's been working pretty well, hasn't it? For the most part. So, but like I said, hopefully I can get that video up pretty soon.
He just come off the run within the last 15 minutes, so he gets pretty wired when we first let him go.
Right. Freedom. So,
but as he goes on, that slows him down.
I wouldn't want,
instead of running, he's trotting.
I wouldn't want a chain hitting me in my knees while I'm running, so it would slow me down too.
Come here, Bruno.
But Betsy did all she possibly could to train, or try to train Bruno to stay away from the goats. But it gets to the point where Bruno's now larger and stronger than Betsy is, and so she still tries on occasion, but Bruno can pretty easily take over. But anyway, let's go find something else to do. What are we doing?
We are moving the nursery.
I don't think anybody's seen any footage of the baby.
Sorry, I know I'm not very good at this, but this is Fancy. She's Mama, and she's done really, really well. We're really happy with her mothering instincts. And the little guy there we're calling him One. Our bucklings, we don't name our bucklings until we're sure that we're going to register them, or if we're keep them, or if we're going to sell them. We know him as One because he is the first buckling born on our farm. So any bucklings, they'll be tagged with a consecutive number, and we use a blue ear tag with a number on it, and he'll be referenced as One. So that's what we call him right now. He's a pretty hefty guy. He came in at 8.8 pounds at birth, and he is already almost 10 pounds. I haven't weighed him yet today, but he's packing weight on really quick. And then over here, this, we call her Anita. We named her after a friend of ours who loves the baby goats, and so that's what we do. Hey, Nita, what you doing? Her and I have bonded. We've had some good time together. So we had some issues with her. She got hypothermic, and but she bounced right back, and now she's suckling really well, and she's just a little lover, and she's starting to put on the weight. And you can see she got a nice full belly going on right here. So she's a sweet little girl. So. And we're going to monitor her and see how she does. she wants some attention, so and then so we're going to monitor her, see how she does, and see if we can integrate her into our breeding herd. I think we're only keeping the top 1% of our does, so we'll see. But she's the first doeling born to the farm, so and. But that's it. So, hey girls! My other girl's back there. We're getting her ready to run them through the chute. So, Fancy looks really, really well. She's doing really, really good with. She doesn't want anyone around her babies, so she's making some noise. But they're doing really well. And we are very happy with the way she's turned out. So we're going to get her weight today and see how she's doing so far. And that's about it. I was going to have Nanny do the gate, but... Come on, baby, get up. 4.
So guys, we have now gotten all but 4. We got 2 of the crazy quads is what we call them, or one of the crazy quads. No, 2 of the crazy quads are out there. Got Rose and Leia. They never ended up coming in. Rose is a hard one to capture. Then you got a couple more out there. A couple more that I know. You got Stormy didn't come in. There was another one. What's another one, Mom, that didn't come in?
Yes.
Rick, can't leave that side open. Please.
Stormy, Rose, Leia, Felicity, and Aspen.
So they didn't end up coming in. But we got a lot more to do. Jetta.
This is Miss Tiny. Tiny has a really good FAMACHA score. So she did need some hoof trimming today. We're putting a delicing treatment on her and sending her back out to play. Tiny is not one of the easier handlers, but she's once we get her confined, then she's usually pretty well. Does pretty well once we get her head chalked up.
Can you open that? Yeah. Say please. Please. Yay! Yay! Mine. Go have a seat. What are we doing over here?
We are delicing. Get back, Patrick. Checking their feet, checking their FAMACHA. Anyone that we think is susceptible to worms or shows a low FAMACHA.
Passy the 2.
Then we're taking fecal samples to run under the microscope. And in Florida, because we don't have rocky soil or anything like that, our sandal's very sandy and doesn't wear their hooves down at all. So we probably trim more than most. So I can't tell you the number of times I've cut my finger trimming hooves.
Now maybe you've discussed this before in other videos. What are the rankings and the ratings and what are they?
FAMACHA's on a scale of 1 to 5. Rick and I both have had certification in FAMACHA. They call it certification. It's just kind of like a training thing. And then once you've gone through the training and you've demonstrated that you can read a FAMACHA pretty accurately, then they'll give you this little card. It was just a little, really short thing that we went through at one of the goat camps that we went to. And the FAMACHA will tell you about, the FAMACHA tells you about
Maddie, can you please take him to
their
the barn
anemia,
and get him that?
whether it's a tool we use where you push in on the top eyelid and pull down the bottom eyelid, and you rank the colors 1 to 5. And a bright, pretty red is a 1, white's 5. So we check ours. Anytime I put hands on them, if they're just out here eating and I can grab one, I'll check their FAMACHA just randomly. But that shows an anemia.
So the FAMACHA is really important.
Yeah, the FAMACHA is very important. It's one of the most important tools that we use. And there's several different parasites that can cause them to go anemic. Lice can cause it, mites can cause it. The most common parasites that cause it are worms. So When our goats have a FAMACHA of 3 or lower, 3, 4, or 5, then what we will do is, if they go 3, 4, or 5, we'll take a fecal sample, and then put it under the microscope to see if the parasite's a worm load. All goats have worms. There's no goat that's ever worm-free. It's just a matter of how their body can manage it and you know, how they manage the worm load. If the worm load gets too high, then we have to worm them based on what type of worm that they have. And so that's that. We're gonna get Pearl up so I can trim her feet. And I'm gonna delouse her. Even though my goats are pregnant, it's still okay to delouse them. I do have one that had babies recently. She kidded, so although I can treat her, I can't treat the babies, but her being treated and them being right up with her will help them not to get lice. So, if the kids do end up with lice, if we do end up with lice, then what we do is, or if the kids end up with lice, the babies, because they're too small to use the silence that we use for lice treatment, I give them a bath in Dawn dishwashing soap. But I always use the real Dawn, not the Ultra Dawn. So. But that's what we're doing. We're running them through just for a quick check. We do it every 3 months. This time we're licing them. And then usually what we'll do is we bolus them copper bolus them every 4 months right now because of the type of feed that we're using.
So we're about to do the mamas.
The 2 that are due next to deliver. Callie is due on Christmas Day and Pawnee is due January 9th.
So are we going to do like a Pawnee or Callie challenge?
Possibly, especially Callie. I think that would be cool for Christmas.
I do too. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. So,
Callie challenge. I don't think anybody, Mom.
Chelsea.
No, but I don't think anybody picked the right one for Fancy, did they?
No, but in all honesty, Fancy was a special circumstance because we had gotten her and her breeder wasn't sure that she had even bred.
Yeah.
They were thinking that we may have to put a cover buck on her because they didn't think her breeding because they had her in there for such a short time and he didn't see them breed.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a solid due date. We had an estimated due date of November 21st.
Okay, but we know exactly when Callie was
Yes,
bred.
we do. Callie was bred and her due date comes out December 25th. So that's a closer time, so we'll see. So.
You heard it, guys. Look out on Facebook. Make sure you like and follow us on Facebook. That way you can go ahead and get into the Callie challenge. Since nobody won the Fancy challenge, we're going to go ahead and redo with a Callie challenge. And so, but you can't partake in the festivities if you're not a friend of ours on Facebook. So go to Facebook, the LaLa Farm, or is it LaLa Farm, Florida? Yeah, go to LaLa Farm FL on Facebook, or the LaLa Farm, Baker County. You'll find it. Just look for the logo and go ahead and like our page. Make sure you follow and just keep an eye out for the Callie challenge. And again, just like with Fancy, it'll be you pick the due date, you pick how many kids, and the gender of the kids, and you could win a
LaLa Farm surprise.
Why are you letting your mom report that streak across her forehead?
because she looks cute with the streak across her forehead.
Do I have a streak across
Get out of there.
She's got a streak.
You're about to be out.
Mom has a streak. We can't do a challenge for all the goats because eventually it's going to get to the point where all of the goats are going to kid pretty much around the same exact time because we put Einar and Jarl in, which is the bucks, put Einar and Jarl in with our does at the same time. You know, of course, if there's kind of like an accident or we go out and we buy a goat from an auction or purchase a goat from an auction, then it's a possibility that they are pregnant. Once we find out they're pregnant, we can go ahead and do a challenge.
Bruno. Bruno. Betsy. Bruno. Bruno, Bruno, Bruno.
Oh, they gave you kisses.
Oh, and today we're checking lice, so, and doing lice treatment. So here we go. Last goat. Last goat in. Come on, go, go, go. Come on, go. Oh, looky here. We got us a little one. All right, first thing we're going to do is check his weight. So we're going to let him in through here. All right, let move. Oh, yeah. No, don't touch that. Staying real still there. Woohoo! He's weighing in at a whopping 29.8 pounds. Woohoo! Okay, little man, we're going to turn you around here. We're going to bring you down, and we're going to stick your head through the gate. Come here. I got to check your body for lumps. Do I feel any lumps anywhere? No lumps, no lumps, no lumps anywhere. No lumps, no lumps, no lumps anywhere.
Is he ticklish?
We gotta tickle his goat. Oh no. Oh, you know what? I gotta check under his armpits and see if he's got any lumps under there. You got any lumps under there? Okay, now check it for lice. Let me see. Oh, don't see no lifeies. Look in your ears. Oh, nope. Okay. All right. Hold on.
How's his feet look?
Check your feet. Give me your feet. Give me this foot. Oh, that's needing some cleaning. All right. There we go. Not need no trim. They just need clean. Oh, this one looks really good. Yeah, I'd say that's a good one. Oh, I gotta do the FAMACHA check now. Let me see your eyeballs. Let me see. Push in, pop down. Let me see. Push in, pop down. Oh, you're definitely a 1. You're definitely.
Now that we're done with the goat checks, guys, just gonna hang out for a little while, and then Baker County has the Christmas parade tonight, and so we'll be doing that. Probably show you a little bit of footage of that. So I gotta get cleaned up first. As you can see, kind of nasty. So, but let the Bony Bot and the Monster Boy out so they can roam for a little bit. Touch it. This is Andy.